Hey guys, it's Carol. Sorry for the lack of updating. I've just been real busy. I have spent this past week building the schedule for the lessons at Fanime this year. And it's, oh lord, it's just been a lot of a pain in the ass. Um, but good news, it's raining. Finally, a little bit. See, it is all like gray out there, and the walkway is wet, and you can see a little bit of dry walkway over there. I caught my finger, hence band-aid. And today I am gonna be spending some time with Michael's sister, which is gonna be fun because she and I, over the past 3.5-ish years, have not actually just had a girls' day together. It's also kind of fun for me just because she's kind of the closest thing that I have to a little sister, because she's about a year younger than I am, and I am the baby of my family. And for her, like, because I'm dating her brother and I have sisters, now she has sisters, in a way. You know, eventually she's probably going to be my sister-in-law, but for the moment, it's more just sort of being friends with her brother's girlfriend and me being friends with my boyfriend's sister and all that good stuff. And also for the first time this week, she has seen some videos from past cons of me dancing and stuff. So that was kind of fun. She hasn't really seen me dance in person ever, but there's not been a whole lot of opportunity for that, especially because Michael doesn't know that much as far as dance steps go. Last year he took a private lesson from me with merengue and salsa, and then Minjay kind of forced him to take the rumba class, which was hilarious. But unfortunately, the rumba that's taught at con is not the rumba that I know. The rumba I know is the very Latin, very hip motion heavy version, whereas the one that we teach at con is the more ballroomy version with a box step and all that stuff, instead of the sort of 3/5 of an H sort of basic step that we do in Latin rumba. And there's a couple of videos that she wanted to see, but because of privacy settings and stuff, she wasn't able to. So I'm probably going to end up showing her those. And we're going to go to lunch. I'm going to work on getting the knots broken in her back, because she unfortunately has a really bad knot between her iliac crest, I think is what it's called, the actual hip bone in her back, all the way up to her ribs. So she's been going through a lot of pain lately, and since I have paid attention to my chiropractic appointments, I have a pretty good idea of how to break them up. Plus I now have a massage bar, which helps with leverage. And, you know, the fact that I, as somebody who just gets injured a lot and has no actual, like, medical license or anything, was able to figure out what the hell was going on when her doctors couldn't. But that's not the first time I've been in that situation, and it's definitely getting a little chillier. But hey, at least my car is gonna get a free wash, so that's gonna be fun. I'm a horrible car owner. I'm not. I don't maintain my car very well. But yeah, so we're gonna probably end up getting something really nice and warm and delicious for lunch, because it's chilly as fuck. And as somebody who has plenty of extra natural insulation, I'm saying that, and Michael's sister is much skinnier than I am, so she's probably going to be even colder, and I just tripped on that. Yeah, so that's what's going on today. And then tomorrow I'm getting together with Becca for about an hour so we can do the ball schedule. Because I've managed to get most of the lesson schedule done. There's two people that I am going to, murder death. Because neither one of them has said word one about anything. Neither one of them has come to any of the meetings. And yeah, murder death. I'm going to kill them. Especially if they start bitching at me because I'm the one who built the schedule and they're not on it. That's what they get for not contributing to the conversation. That's what they get. So there's those two. Unfortunately, one of our staffers has a really bad knee injury, so she is not able to come at all, which is not actually that bad in terms of adjusting the schedule. I was able to do it in about 10 minutes. Because I had heard little whispers of her issue, so I made sure that she was, really light on the schedule and was sort of the understudy assistant for a lot of things. She was only actually signed up to be the assistant for one of them. So I just had to move that around and it was no biggie. But, bad knee injury, I've had those. I really hope she feels better. I really hope she gets the rehab and strength training that she needs for it. And another one of our instructors also has a knee injury. She's got an ACL injury. And she is the only female instructor for West Coast Swing. Fortunately, her boyfriend, who is adorable and really, really good, gets along with our other West Coast Swing instructor really, really well. They have already been scheming for prop challenge, which is going to be fun. So they will be able to work it out. And, between me and Becca and a bunch of other members of staff, we'll definitely have following leaders. And following leaders, that makes no sense. Following instructors. Because we have two I can't talk today. Because we have plenty of following instructors that are available. And we have two leading instructors who are going to be there. There it is. There. I've said it. Okay. I can stop kicking myself for not being able to talk. And let's see. Today is Minjay's birthday. So I've sent him his text and promised him jambalaya. Because that's what I give him every year. And that is his own fault because he keeps wanting it every year. So... Okay, a little bit of background on my friendship with Minjay. When we first met, it was kind of like, okay, you are dating the first friend that I've made in college. If you hurt her, I will kill you. I have already gotten really close with her in the 2 weeks that I've known her. If you fuck this up, I'm going to kill you. And Minjay was kind of a military brat kind of thing, so he moved around a lot, didn't really sit down roots, didn't really make actual close friends. And then the guy that I was with before Michael, he and I broke up. I had only known Becca and Minjay for a little over a year and a half. And, of course, Becca was my best friend already at that point, so it was just like, okay, this just happened, I need to come over. I need a good cry, we'll be fine. So, at that point, Minjay saw how I was taking it, and we did the whole go to the drive-in movies, see Toy Story 3, because it was that time, and we sort of started to get a little closer. And then at one point, my sisters and I went to Disneyland, because it's only like a 6 or 7 hour drive away. So we would go for like a weekend. And we had dinner at the Blue Bayou, because it's amazing there and delicious and aw. And I tried jambalaya for the first time. And then I couldn't get it out of my head, so I learned how to make it. And Min-jae, who is natural born Korean, I believe he was born there, and then sort of bounced around in the US for a while. But because he's Korean, he had to do mandatory military service. And he did it, he did the thing, there's no issue there. And his favorite ration was the jambalaya thing. So he found out that I made it. I brought some over because I was really, really happy with the results. I was like, Becca, you have to try this. Oh my god, nah. And he tried it. And then all the sort of like walls and barriers and stuff that he'd had up just came crashing down, going like, oh my god. And ever since then, we have been super, super close. And it was kind of funny because he and Becca are now engaged after 7 years. Almost 8, I think. Maybe. No, it's about 7.5 now. Because like 4 years ago or so, he took me ring shopping for her because he really, really was secure in the relationship and everything, but then realized he wasn't quite ready to do the whole marriage commitment thing. And then on New Year's Eve, Michael and I spent with them and a couple of our other friends. Lizzie, you've met, and one of Becca's oldest friends, who is also super close with Min-jae. And Lizzie and the other friend hadn't arrived yet, but the boys, being boys, were hungry. I hadn't eaten dinner yet. Neither had Becca, so we're just like, okay, we'll go pick up dinner. And Min-jae sort of decided for us that it would just be me and Becca going to get the food, because then he told Michael that on their trip to Monterey in like a week, that he was going to actually propose. And Michael is very good at keeping his friends' secrets. Like, I had no clue. And then the following Friday, I got a text from Min-jae with a photo of the ring going like, look what I got for Becca. And like, I knew about the trip to Monterey because Becca was really excited about it, and Min-jae had never been, so it was this whole thing. And and then I was super happy and super excited and everything. And the next day, Michael and I went with Lizzie and her mom and her sisters to Harry Potter's response to the reduced Shakespeare company of Potted Potter, which turned out to be hilarious and wonderful and stuff. And then, like, we all carpooled to get over there because it was at the Palace of Fine Arts in San Francisco, which was the first time that I'd ever been there, and it was gorgeous. And while we were on the freeway to get over there, Lizzie, Michael, and I were talking because we were in the back of the van, and Lizzie's mom and sister were in the front seat, and we met her other sister there because she lives a lot closer there. And we were talking about how, like, I'm gonna kill Min-jae for how much he spent on the ring. And Lizzie just looked at us and went like, what are you talking about? So I pulled up the text on my phone going like, he sent me this yesterday. So then we all had a laugh about like, oh my god, this is gonna be so cute. And, like, Lizzie, you need to keep your schedule clear so we can steal Becca in like a week and do the whole like get the story, which turned out to be super cute, but it's not mine to share, so I'm not going to. And there was all that. So naturally, they went to Monterey for like 2 days, and they spent the night in a hotel and all that stuff. And so, like, I had figured out that he was going to propose while they were there, and he had confirmed that. And that whole day, I suddenly got like secondhand jitters, like, oh my god, I don't think she's gonna say no, but what if she does? So there was that. And then at like 9:30, almost 10 at night, I get a text from Becca going like, "Minji asked me to marry him!" Ah! And, you know, I had already known. I could finally reveal the story of the ring shopping thing, etc. And sort of texted her back going like, "That's awesome! You said yes, right?" Because she failed to mention that part. And, you know, it's definitely going to be a while before they actually, like, do the whole knot tying thing, just because both of them are still in school. Minjae still has to transfer just like Michael does. And Becca is due to graduate, like, next year, I think. And they're already gonna move closer to school. Which is gonna be sad, because it means I'm not gonna have easy access to her anymore. Because they're gonna move down to San Jose. So they're actually gonna be closer to my aunt's house than mine. But, you know, still very, very happy for them. And I already know that I'm going to be auntie to their children. Just like Minjae knows that regardless of whether or not Michael and I end up having kids, he is the godfather to any children we have. Because Becca is my best friend, and Michael is Minjae's best friend. So this is, I think, part of the reason why Minjae decided that Michael would be a good guy for me. Because if you pass Minjae's friendship test, you've made it. He doesn't trust very easily, he doesn't open up very easily, but, you know, once you really get to know him and put the effort in, then he is a very, very worthwhile friend. And he and I have the same sort of philosophy about people, where everybody starts out neutral, and then you stay that way, pretty much, until you either do something to really get into good graces or really fuck up. And then it's really hard to get into the other category. Or even back to neutral, really. So that's one of the big reasons why he and I get along so well. I'm also one of the few people that he trusts to dance with Becca respectfully and with more body contact. Because it's kind of a centripetal force thing, especially with merengue. Because the closer you get, the faster you can spin. Or rotate, I should not say spin, because that's not even a dance term. Rotating a basic, and if you go really fast rotating a basic, it looks like you know really, really what you're doing. But with certain dances like bachata, where it's kind of expected that you're up close and personal, there are maybe 3 guys that Minjae would trust to dance that way with her. And one of them doesn't know how to dance because it's Michael. And he has not learned bachata yet. So it's like me, my old dance partner Mardig, and our friend Luis, who is absolutely hilarious. I love this guy to death. Because I have seen this happen on multiple occasions. Because, first of all, Luis is a personal trainer. So, bro is buff. Bro can lift me. And I have seen him dance a salsa as a leader. And he is a fantastic leader, very respectful, very, like, easy on his partners. Like, he'll challenge them, but he'll not, like, rip arms out of sockets like certain other people. But then he will walk over to, like, the girl's guy friend who got roped into taking the class with her and do this whole, like, intimidating, like, kind of look. And then go, "Want to dance?" And, like, he's a good follower, too, which is amazing and wonderful, and he's definitely secure enough in his sexuality to actually succeed at being a follower and a leader. and probably switch back and forth if he's got somebody who's willing to do that in one dance. Which is actually really difficult, but less so with something like merengue, where the leader and followers' footwork is pretty much the same, and it doesn't matter, really. But yeah, so being one of the few people that Minjae trusts, and, you know, him being who he is and me being who I am, and it's kind of funny to watch Minjae, Michael, and Lizzie interact, because you've seen Lizzie on a few occasions, you know her. You know she is kind of girly, you know she is there, but you put her in a room with those two boys and she is a bro. She goes full on bro, just like Michael goes full on gay bestie when he's on the phone with my sister. The one who doesn't live with us. And she's coming to town next week, so I actually get to see her for the first time since Christmas, so that's going to be awesome. Even if it's not going to be that much, and she's actually going to be in town twice this month. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to see her this second time, because she's going to be coming into town for my mom's cousin Amy's funeral, or memorial, rather, which, yes, is sad, but at least she's not in pain anymore and all that good stuff. But the thing is, that memorial takes place on the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day weekend is when Fanime is. I have been committed to Fanime since before Cousin Amy died. Because she died actually on Christmas Eve. And it does suck that she is no longer with us, because she was really fun to talk to, and we actually have a hardback copy of her thesis project from college. And she was a literature person. I'm pretty sure she went to Berkeley, because apparently she was living there for a while. I don't have the full story. I'm not a family historian. But my sister is flying in from Seattle for that at the end of the month. And for anybody who doesn't know the FanimeCon general schedule, the Sunday is when the ball happens. We have the fewest lessons that day. That's one of the 2 times that I'm definitely going to be on stage 0 for Prop Challenge. And then we have 2 hours of setup, 6 hours of dancing, and then 3 or 4 hours of teardown. Because the floor company that we work with is based in LA. So we need to get the floor deconstructed and packed up before we have any issues about like union or space renting and stuff, because that's another thing. Our venue, which has been Parkside Hall, which is this sort of mini convention center right behind the Tech Museum in San Jose, and it's right across the street from the main convention center, so it's not that far away from where pretty much everything else is. You've got the swap meet around the corner, you've got like 3 of the 5 hotels in the immediate vicinity doing work for con and renting space out. But Parkside Hall has really been the only space that has been big enough to accommodate us, because we've gotten bigger every year. We had like 3,000 attendees last year for one 6-hour event. But Parkside Hall got bought by some hotel chain. And this is the last year that Parkside Hall is going to exist. So there's a whole bunch of drama behind like where we're going to be located next year, which is going to be huge, because next year is our 10-year anniversary as an event. So we kind of need a space for that, and we don't really have one, and kind of nothing else can really move. So that's a whole big argument, drama, headache thing. But yeah, so sorry for the rambly vlog, but I don't really have enough time, energy, or bandwidth to sort of plan and execute another sort of advice video, I guess is what I call them, or any of the writing videos. I'm just so distracted this month because it's con in 2 weeks or so, and before then my sister's coming into town for work, and Michael's birthday is next week, and Minjay's birthday is today, and I'm having lunch and girl time with Michael's sister today, and Michael has finals in a couple of weeks, because literally what we refer to as day 0 of con, which is, the convention essentially runs from Friday through Monday. Day 0 is the Thursday. And day 0 is when Michael has his last final, and then we drive down to San Jose and we put the floor together, which is going to take a couple hours. And I have to make jambalaya for Minjay that day because he always wants it on day 0 of con, even though it's like 3 weeks after his birthday. And there's all of that, and we also have 2 more convention meetings that we have to go to, and the one that's closer is going to be a really long day, because not only is it going to be 2 days after Michael's birthday, but that will be the first day that my sister's in town. And fortunately, she already has plans that day, so I'm not missing anything, because one of her friends is graduating and she's going to be there. But Michael is probably going to have a bro birthday day on the day before. And that day we are doing, like, our crash course of, like, how to be an assistant instructor, how to be an instructor. And Michael has to be the guinea pig for that, so that's going to be really fun for him. Because he will probably, in spite of my efforts, be very hungover and not in the best shape. But that's going to be a thing. And then he and I have to do radio training because we're seconds, so we have to do that. And then, like, 8 days later, we have the last meeting before con, which is the great big when in doubt call con ups and don't be that guy speech by the entire, like, sort of board of directors, heads, people. So that's going to be a thing. And we still haven't quite finished the schedule for the weekend, mostly because of those 2 assholes that I'm going to kill. And we haven't actually done the ball schedule. And that's just what my month is looking like. So that's why there's kind of been a lack of content. That's why I'm super distracted, but I'm putting this out there just so that, you know, you guys know what's going on. And why I'm probably not going to be doing that much content this month. Sorry. I am going to try to vlog at con a little bit. I can't guarantee it'll be great quality. I will very likely be exhausted all the time, because I am actually teaching Argentine tango, merengue, salsa, and I think I'm teaching East Coast swing at one point. And definitely assisting West Coast at least one day. And because I'm a second, I have to be there more often, but I don't necessarily have to do more physical work, because we also get volunteers, and volunteers have to have sort of timesheets that are signed off by either a head or a second. And Becca, who is the head of our department, and has been for the last few years, she goes a little bit crazy during con, because she always has the radio on, except for when she's at stage 0, because the radio interferes with the sound system. And she has to be, like, face with black and white ball, etc. And So she is not necessarily always on site for Black and White Ball in Parkside Hall where we live. And so now she has me, she has Michael, and a brother and sister team who've been on staff longer than I have. And both of them are seconds, so there's 5 people who can sign off on hours. And that means that Becca doesn't have to be there the entire time, which is good because the woman needs to eat, she needs to sleep. She has to, like, actually be human at some point. And unfortunately, the Argentine tango instructor that I've been working with for the past few years, who actually leads the thing, so I get to follow for once, he can't come this year because he's too busy. So for the first time since Becca became the department head, I actually get to teach a class with her again. Yay! And like the first year that we were on staff together, we did an Argentine tango demonstration that I think people still remember, because we walked out and before the music started, I blindfolded her, and she followed the entire time blindfolded. But I think the song is what people remember more, because we did our demonstration to the March from Raiders of the Lost Ark, which people more commonly known as the Indiana Jones theme. We did that. So that was a thing. And I'm probably going to talk to her about seeing if we need to fill slots for Stage 0, because we have 3-ish demo slots on Stage 0 that are not prop challenge, and we have 2 demos currently slated. So that fills half of one. And I'm wondering if we need to bust out some of our old material just so that we can actually fill the slots and help Stage 0 out, because their head and second are awesome people and we love them. And we want to make their job as easy as possible, and they love the Black and White Ball because we are nice people. And we tend to be entertaining, particularly on Prop Challenge. Because, okay, so the regular demos are more along the lines of like Dancing with the Stars kinds of things, where it's just like, here's what this dance style looks like, and you can come take a lesson in this dance style if you wanna. And then there's Prop Challenge. Prop Challenge is semi-controlled chaos. And we only do it twice. Which I think is a good thing. Could still be fun if we did 3 days. Whatever. And if you actually look at Becca's YouTube channel, because she does have one, and I will link it below, then you can actually find some Prop Challenge stuff. Now, we have these giant inflatable D20s that are about the size of a beach ball. And we have a selection of 10 songs and 10 props. This year we are doing K-pop on Saturday and all Prince music on Sunday. Kind of an in memoriam thing. Because basically the guy who brought Prop Challenge to us is the guy who picks the music, and like last year we had a Weird Al Day, and I don't remember what the other one was. I think it was Soundtracks or Disney or something. But yeah, so it's kind of run like a Jack and Jill, and that is when you don't know who you're dancing with until your name's called and you're introduced to your partner and stuff, except we actually volunteer for it, which is good because we have certain things like this dance we have 2 leaders and 1 follower that have to dance together, or the reverse of 1 leader and 2 followers, which I actually think is kind of easier than the 2 leaders 1 follower thing, because 2 leaders and 1 follower you're basically playing dance tag, which is fun. But if you find the video where it's me, Ryan, and Brandon doing one follower, two leaders, it's a lot harder to like keep the beat between partners, and there's much flubbing of stuff. We also have giant cat paws. We have slippers. We added lightsabers last year, and we're probably gonna do that again. Which to me is fun because I'm apparently the only one who can handle it, other than the guy who actually like set it up. So there's that. And it's also kind of funny because for the Waltz waterfall mixer, we actually implemented it last year. We have blue lightsabers and red lightsabers, so we could actually see like, okay, who needs another leader, who needs another follower, and obviously the reds are. Sorry, that was super rude. My camera cut out. Um, uh, but what I was saying was that the red lightsabers were for the leaders because red leader, obviously, duh. But we ended up having to get all of our lightsabers peace bonded last year. So that was like 22-ish. But anyway, it's getting to the point where I need to actually turn the camera off because I gotta go pick up Michael's sister for our lunch and girls' day stuff. And hopefully I will be able to vlog some more later this month. I'm planning to vlog at con. I can't guarantee I'll actually be able to do it or remember to do it. And the sound quality will probably not be that great. Just because of the amount of noise that goes on in our little zone. But yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to do that, and I'll talk to you guys more later. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew why there was like no actual writing videos happening this month, because I'm too busy because of the stupid schedule and the con and all the things. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.